And hello, my sweet Netherlings. How goes it, my dear darlings? Get on in here, you absolute rays of sunshine. All right. How does? Nether dear? What? Yes. Hello. Hi. How goes it? How goes it? I am glad to see you all. Get on into Club Netherbrand. The doors are open. Actually, no, they're not. Once you walk in, you can't leave. They're like one-way doors, you know? I just turned the push and pull sign around once we're already inside. It always gets them. No one ever gets out once I do that. Oh, goodness. Hi. Hello. How are you guys doing? I have another confession. I have another confession. I did it again. I stayed up till 6 a.m. playing Final Fantasy 16. Okay, but in my defense, let me defend myself. Let me do a defensive statement here, okay? I have an answer for this. Okay? And I do actually have a rebuttal, all right? And that is, okay, I was playing through, I haven't got past like the first chapter, the second chapter yet, right? But I have two defenses. And I feel like you're going to understand them. Thank you very, very much. Lovely to see you. But my defense is as following, okay? There are going to be no spoilers in this, okay? There's going to be one image, but it's not a spoiler, okay? One, I just got to the end of the first chapter, and none of you told me Ifrit looked like this now. Oh! It was so good I had to screenshot it. Oh! None of you told me he looked like this now. See, he's not Twunk sat on a throne anymore. He's Fire Daddy. None of you told me that. Base defense. Thank you, Elderly Wes. Thank you, Elderly Wes. Thank you very, very much for the base defense. See? Base? Indeed. Right? Zanny live reaction. I'm so glad that I was not on stream. I'm so glad I was not on stream during that. Genuinely, I was so glad. It was me alone in my room at 4 a.m. and the noises I was making, I was literally bark, bark, bark. And the fact that like he's introduced, like again, chapter 1, no spoilers, and you see it at the very beginning, like beating the shit out of another summon. Whoa. Nah, hey, what's up, Nah? Thank you for the super. Hi, Zanny. I'm knowing to this fine evening. What is it with you and games over a decade old? Love the OG and I almost forgot this version. Gamba. I've not played very many games that are like over a decade old, and a lot of games are getting remasters now, which I really, really love. So heck, I might as well experience these amazing games like on stream with everyone, right? It makes sense. It makes sense, right? It does, right? But yeah, no, it was me alone in my room, like cheering like a high school kid in a parking lot, watching a fight as he beat up another summon. Like I was the cheerleader watching the quarterback get into a punch up. I was like, get him, that's right, get him, Ifrit, get him, that's my man. Like, hey, Hodu, what's up? Lovely to see you, Hodu. How goes? I was also playing Yakuza 0 until late last night. Oh, but Yakuza 0 is so good. So good. Oh my goodness. I played Yakuza 0. I didn't get to the end because it's so long. But like, I love how it transitions between the combat sequences and like the cutscenes. The cutscenes to combat sequences are always so good. Hey, Xraina, what is up? Club Netherbrand's little psychic, how goes it? Zanny, finally showing my streamer, you, to my BF. Hey, hi there. Hello there, Xraina's BF. Lovely to see you. Get on into Club Netherbrand. Become a Netherling. I promise, I won't disappoint. I would have loved to see your reactions. Listen, the internet exists forever. The internet exists forever. There's a little bit where like the summon he's punching uses like a fire attack on him, and he like, it looks like he's burned, but then he kind of swaggers it off a little bit and like gives him a little huff, and it's like, bitch, really? And I'm like, yeah, you just tried to burn Ifrit. Get him. Like the swagger, the little huff he did. I was like, because they tried to burn the fire summon, and I'm like, oh, this is how you play now. This is how you play now. I see, this is how we play. So yes, I've been on Final Fantasy 16 brain rot. Zanny getting inspiration for future scripts. Not going to lie, I would totally do like a script where I was like a summon. I would love to be a Final Fantasy summon. I would love to be. They don't have an Incubus summon. They have a Diablos summon. But I think Incubus would be a really good summon, actually. That would actually be really good. That'd be really good. Hey, Paradolly, thank you for enabling my continued thirsting over fictional characters and for the 5 gifted members. Thank you, Paradolly. Mwah. There you go, darling. Let's go. Listen, what can I say? 2D guys are just better. Listen, the monsters and men in my screen do so much more. Hey, tell my gym and best friends into Netherlings. You're teaching that. Let's go. I got past some like figures last night about like how the summer merch did with like, you know, Zanny summer merch. Looks like I'm not the feral one here. Looks like I'm not the feral one here. Seems like a lot of people were ordering like the full, like there was a disproportionate amount of people interested in getting the full body standee, the little full standees. All of the stuff that showed the underwear and bulge seemed to do a lot better. seemed a little disproportionate. Seemed like there was a little bit of there was a little inequality there. Seems like people skipped over some of the things and just decided, heck, we're ordering the items that show bulge. I fucking love you for that. Oh, not going to lie. Not gonna lie. I love... Okay, that validates me so hecking much, though, with, like, what I was saying before, where I'm like, people want this. I had to fight my ass off in meetings to be like, yo, trust me on this one. Trust me. Trust me on this one. Management were like, I don't know. I'm like, trust me on this one. I've got this. I've got this. I was right. Well, actually, all of you were right. All of you were right. The nether bulge attack did some things to us. The nether bulge appears to, like, the nether bulge, it was disproportionate. People loved that. I'm okay. You guys have informed me where I need to go. Zanny body pillows. Let's go. Zanny body pillow. Zanny 𝓂𝓾𝓻. Okay? One side, normal. Other side, absolute filth. That's the next goal. That's the next goal. I'm here, we're talking about nether bulge. Damn straight. I know what the people want. Absolute filth. That's the goal. That's my next goal. The nether bulge ends up as my autocorrect when I write nether. Oh, I was speaking to like 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻 about the Netherlong thing. Whoever drew art of like the Netherlongs, you gave 𝓂𝓸𝓾 power with that. He sent that to me. He's like, look, they're alive now. Hey, what is up? 7839L. What is up? Hey Zanny, today's my birthday. I'm so glad I'm spending it with you. Hey, happy birthday, 783. Happy birthday. Hey, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Happy birthday to you. And of course, I hope the coming year brings you absolutely wonderful things. You are going to have a good year. I have decreed that. That, and also a huge thank you for being part of Club Netherbrand. And of course, thank you for the super. Mwah. There you go. There you go. Have another for your birthday. Mwah. There you go. Yeah. Oh, goodness. It's hard to believe that my birthday was almost 6 months ago now. Kind of crazy. I'm kind of about that. It's really awesome. I also received some really, really good news last night. Which is interesting. I can't tell you about it yet, but you'll know in about a month and a half. Tee. But yeah, no, it's gonna be good. It's 2 a.m. I might pass out with this live in the background. Hey, go for it. I'm more than happy to keep you company while you go to sleep. I love getting to keep you company while you go to sleep. It's one of my favorite things. God, stop that. Oh, hush you. Hush, okay? Hush. Mark your calendars. No, I've got to there's still so much stuff to look forward to first. I've got to get I got to wait for the get back on my original song. I've got to release the Dragon Zanny stuff and edit it and finish all of that. I'm still planning a shit ton of 3D stuff, you know. It's gonna be really, really good. Which is nice. I've got a few surprises planned for that. And of course, you know, definitely just jumping through a lot of hoops. Original song, yeah, I'm doing one of those. It's been stuck in like development hell for about 6 months. One day, I will like kick back, have a few drinks on stream and tell you how the development hell happened. Because like, genuinely, it's one of those times where like no one, myself or FSP, did anything wrong, but like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, you know? Like up there. Oh god, you're gonna make me parasocial saying sweet stuff like that. Oh, Don't you worry. No. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, no, I've been working on that, and obviously, you know, I'm looking forward to when that finally does drop, because you guys know I'm not a cover kind of guy. I don't, you know. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do a thing. Okay, with how busy you are, I'm actually glad you took a break and played Final Fantasy. Exactly. See. I played video games. That's good. If I'm not sleeping and playing video games, then that implies I'm resting. See. Also, like, total side note, last mention about Final Fantasy 16, they had no right to make Sid look like that. They had no right to make the old mechanic / knight get a redesign and look like that. Oh. If you don't know what I'm talking about, feel free to just like open another tab and look him up. He's like, oh. What did they do? What is up with like games that get remasters or reboots or like sequels or like reused characters, taking like the old man who like looks half dead and then turning him into the most yaoi bait individual in like imaginable? This is a trend. I approve of it, but this is a trend. This is not the first time this has happened. Do you mean Smith? The Smith? No, Sid. Sid. Wow, what is that? Right. Sid. C-I-D. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a grumpy old mechanic for like 14 games. And then suddenly he has like, okay. So what are you doing? You getting Botox, LPL, fillers? Like, are we going with like a little nip and tuck, like BBL, acid peels? Like, are we talking about chemical peeling? Are we going with like, you know, what's the deal there? What's the deal? Facelifts, micro needling, threading? Like, how do you go from A to B? Explain this to me. You can tell I've looked up ways to stay young forever. You could tell. Rattles off the entire like menu of Harley Street. Hey, realism. They acknowledge dudes in their 40s can be hot. True. Very true. All right, who's ready for me to dive into the Stanley Parable? Because I'm feeling 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻. I'm feeling you get what I mean. I've never played the Stanley Parable before. It is new to me. I was actually too new to the human world when I first strolled in here to play it the first time, because it didn't come out in anything but PC. And little Zanny, when he first arrived, only had an Xbox 360 because he upgraded from his GameCube. I loved my GameCube. I'm sorry, but like peak 2000s core is sitting around on your GameCube playing Shadow the Hedgehog and like listening to Evanescence. That's the peak. Nah, money on salt and pepper hair. Descaro. Okay, but Zanny with a little bit of grey. Like Zanny up there with the grey. GameCube. Shadow, my beloved. I am the ultimate life form. Damn, not here. I freaking love that. All right, let's go. Full screen gaming. Hi there. Welcome over. This is what is referred to as the Stanley Parable. Rain, you can stop now, please. There you go. Thank you. All right, computer is barely visible. Please enter the current time. Guys, I'm doxing my time zone. Don't tell management. Is it PM? Oh, they're doing it like America time? Oh. And then... Wait for it. Wait for it. Hey, KKXOXO. Thank you very much for the super. Let's go. If I close my eyes, hearing you talk to others reminds me of my aunties talking that time I fell asleep at a party. Cathartic. Okay, for real this time. Good night. Hey, sweet dreams, KK. Sweet dreams. All right? Thank you for the super. Note, accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. It's fine. I need subtitles to hear better. But there are subtitles. I enabled them before we started. Don't you worry. Little sound check. Sounds good. Hey, Keyuan. What's up? So excited to see you play this. Also, happy 3 months. Look at you being 3 months of Netherbranded. Actually, it's only like a few days until the 6-month anniversary.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
6-month anniversary of the Netherbranded
Stanley
experience
worked
opening.
for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's
Okay.
job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Okay.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Right,
And
relatable.
although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in.
Uh-huh.
As though he had been made exactly for this job.
Maybe he had.
Stanley was happy.
All right,
And
here
then
we
one
go.
day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would
Hi,
forever
come on in.
change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Interesting.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for
Hey,
the
hi to those
longest
just
time.
joining. Good to see
But
you
as
all.
he came to his wits and regained his
Let's
senses,
go.
he got
Oh,
up
ah.
from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, I'm in control. I'm Stanley. So this is my office. Uh, 428.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Huh? Hello?
What did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What? Very organized. Something I could never do. Right? This is a very organized office. I hate Mondays. Just lots of papers.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Did they all have a day off without me? Did they all do that? That happened one time when I was in school. That happened one time when I was in school. It was a bank holiday. And I went into school anyway because I didn't realize. And it turned out no one was there. So then I had to walk all the way home. Hello?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Okay, fine. I like touching things. Okay, I'm a toucher. I'm a tactile individual. I like hugs. I like touching things. I'm expressionate. I'm... What?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wait. Oh, wait, this is the thumbnail. Also, hello, thumbnail. Well, it told me to... It told me to... Wait, I will answer that in chat just a second, but... Okay, so there are 2 wolves raging within me right now. One likes to be called a good boy and wants to go left. One hates authority and the principle of it and tells me to go right. Both hate people. All right, left. Hello? Hello? And they both kiss anyway.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I'm 1,000,000% a time spent, like, love language person. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Hey, this is kind of like the FSP thing. We have all of the week, and then we also have, like, Saturday and Sunday. And then what happens is we have, like, each person's streams and the time, and then we also have our meetings, but they're almost never together. It's, like, maybe once a month together. And then... we have like a little set of things here where notes get added, and then there's the Discord, which I ignore, and you know, yeah, it's all good. I'm begging, no more charts, please stop. What is hot? Profits. Teenagers. Target demographic. Target demographic. Teenagers. What is hot? Profits. 1 billion quarterly post review. That's gonna get taken out of context. Oh, broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Wait. There was a full stop.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
That's red. I guess we're doing what we're told. Ooh! The boss has... Who the fuck is our boss? Mr. Burns? What the hell? I mean, this is a lovely place. I love the decor. Very Incubus of whoever owns this place. Very Incubus. Hardwood floors.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Ooh. I love the narrator thing where, like, you can hear the narrator. I love that. It's actually... Okay, so one of the... Is there a floor? Or is this a leap of faith? When it's done right and you've got like a Johnny Silverhand telling you what's going on, I absolutely love it. That's why I'm so nervous about Vampire the Masquerade 2. And adding like the voice in your head.
Into the building, Stanley realized
and not giving you too much room to build your own background and lore.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest.
And giving you a pre-existing name.
More free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Would that even work for VTM? Straight up, it doesn't. But they're doing it anyway. All right. I'm gonna. This is the one. I'm using my shade token. This is the one bit where Zanny uses
Stanley
his shade
walked straight
token.
ahead through the large door that read "Mind Control Facility."
This is the bit where. Escape. Hey guys, it says escape. It's spelled just like the word escape.
Although this passageway had the word "escape" written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh. I changed my mind.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
No, I changed my mind. I want a violent death, honestly. Let's just pull let's just pull the pin out of it.
Still on board with death?
No, I'm not on board with death. I changed my mind. I don't want to die. I have too much to live for. I mean, What?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Mind control?
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Not gonna lie, the VTM thing has been on like a downward spiral for a little while. Even when I was beta testing the 5th edition, like they'd been on a downward spiral then because there was a lot of like a beta testing stuff that they just did not want to give feedback on, or not feedback, they didn't want to like respond to. There was a lot of feedback stuff they just didn't want to respond to.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally
That's my tea.
monitored in this place.
That's my tea. That's
where
it.
Freedom meant nothing.
What? So, are we all being mind controlled? Is this mind control?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Oh, wow. Take me up.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content.
Wait.
Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
But it's offline.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
What? There are lots of lights. Ooh. It made a noise. Yeah, this is nice. That's nice. But why? So you can have corporate wage drones. Wait. 5? Oh, we press the buttons in order. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And wait a minute. Mind control awaiting input. I think you're all mistaken. My story was never the hero rises. That would be far too twee. It was always the villain gets worse.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yes!
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
What?
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
No, this is my story.
If this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun,
What?
isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desire.
You son of a
This
bitch!
is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
You son of a...
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
Where's 3?
A moment
Where's
of
3?
solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood.
There's
You'll
3.
Die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing
what?
buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
What?
I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
No!
But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Oh, fuck.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Hold button down.
Oh, dear me. What's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer
green
that
5?
something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean,
2 purple?
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room.
Okay,
These
okay.
numbered
Focus,
buttons.
focus.
These colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door.
G.
Everything.
G.
Anything. Something here will save me.
I guess maybe?
Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved?
What?
Do you have any
I don't
idea
understand
what your
you,
purpose
fuck!
in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
I don't understand.
Made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine.
You have 3 attempts remaining.
Destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley.
I don't understand. I don't understand what it's asking me to
30 seconds
do.
until a big boom and then nothing. No ending. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Fuck your nan. Well, fuck this guy.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. This man's a piece of shit. Let's go. Let's go.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
Nope,
doors,
I'm going
this was
right.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Nope.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Yep, employee lounge.
It had really been, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I didn't. I went straight on.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Nope.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Silence.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is
You're my
that the
enemy.
story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Just because the story's about me doesn't mean it's a good one.
Someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for... This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
I will not be manipulated with a fake woman.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
No. You used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. 'Cause I know when that hotline bling. Fine. What?
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting.
I have a wife?
I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Bread?
All right.
You bake?
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
I'm sipping my
They wanna
coffee
commit their life
menacingly.
to you.
I'm
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Okay, I could totally have a wife if I wanted to. I could totally have a... I could totally have a wife if I wanted to.
Sorry,
Oh.
but you're in my story now. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
No. Fine.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Doesn't matter whether or not it was real. all that matters is that you get some type of emotional response from it. There's no such thing as good and bad art. The only bad art is art that elicits no emotional response from its viewer or creator.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over,
it's all
wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free.
Let me out.
Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Let me out. Let me out.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Let me out.
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
We need to get out of here. We need to get back to our real life.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world, he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. Okay, we can wait. How long do we wait? Fine.
You see?
Ah!
How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself?
No, I'm not.
How
Let me
can I get
out.
him to see what I see?
Let me
How
out.
can I make him look at himself?
The Stanley Parable, How to Tame an Incubus. No.
I suppose I can't.
No.
Not in the way I want
What's
him
that
to.
bummer? Thank you for the
I don't
supply.
break the rules.
I will
simply
not be
play to my
tamed.
intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
Open.
Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Please no. Please no. Please no. Please no. Okay. 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 But
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
The
Stanley
narrator's
decided to go to the
unreliable.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. We take the door on the left.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, this is what I'm thinking, everyone. This is what I'm thinking. We have to find the right way to escape the nightmare. We have to go left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find it. Coming to a staircase.
No,
Stanley
down.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Down. A car!
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? What? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe He thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
Hello?
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
What's that
For
noise?
example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
No.
He came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled.
No.
This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Right.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
A what?
Then he imagined himself
Oh,
soaring through space on a
Hey.
magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
We're awake.
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Oh dear.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it
Oh
particularly
no, oh
strange.
no, oh no, get the
I'm
Netherlands.
dreaming about
Netherlands,
the
protect
voice
me.
Describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain beyond a doubt that this was in fact a
Let me
dream.
out. Let
Did
me
the
out.
voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it.
Okay.
He would prove that he was in control.
Okay, Netherlands,
that
we're going
this
to
was
prove
a
we're
dream.
in control.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
Right.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job.
We have a wife?
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
This is an unreliable as hell narrator.
Normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
It said we didn't have a wife. And now it says we have a wife. I don't have a wife, but Stanley has a wife.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real.
I'm real.
I
I'm
must be
real. I'm real.
Can
I'm
anyone
real.
hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
I'm real.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Hi.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Oh!
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself. And
Hi,
then
Mariella.
collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
Oh, please, Mariella, you're clearly delusional with those bangs.
And in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. We're going to obey the voice
Co-workers were
like
gone.
a good boy.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
She didn't even call us an ambulance. Right. That's like bare minimum.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single
I've never had to
person
call an
here
ambulance
either.
actually before.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Actually, no, I tell a lie. I had to call executive bathroom. Was that there before? I don't remember that being there before. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Extreme bathroom. This is all in our head. What if we complete the story? What's through here? That opened! That didn't open before! That didn't open before! I swear down. I swear on my life, that didn't open before. I swear, that did. These were closed. Business strategy. Put a gun to a panda's head? I am the most expensive boss. Man, this is what the Dark Overlords have in their office. Is there a helipad? There's something further up. Da 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 do 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 do. Standing together, baby, can we just get it together? Let's get it together somehow. Na 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 na. Ha ha. Do 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 do. What? No. Huh? Wait. The elevator never leaves this floor, it just rumbles. What? Wait.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud.
Sewage Lines by
He
Claude
began wildly
Monet.
tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
Wait, what?
By sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay, we're going to obey the voice, be a good boy for once. Here goes another sus narrator. Right! Narrators are being so sussy. Sometimes I would wish... Sometimes I wish that I had a narrator just saying what I'm doing. Or I had like an orchestra that followed me around and
Stanley
played theme
walked straight
music.
ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No. I can't.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
No. No. No, I wouldn't.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes. Oh. Teehee. I used to do that in Grandfather Brand's attic. I would walk around the edge of like the trapdoor and the wall, and I'd see if I could balance. And now I think about it, as a little child, that was extremely dangerous for me to do. Frick. 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 Freedom in death! Oh. Wait!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise,
What?
It reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story.
No!
Trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is.
No, no, no.
Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his rough and short life. Farewell, Stanley.
No! No!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Mommy?
In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body,
Deus Ex
killing him
Machina.
instantly.
Deus Ex Machina. Mommy?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
The office layout? The corridor? The two doors? The office? The button sounds? Office computers? Filing cabinets? Model design, original artwork, original music, sound design, art. No, I refuse to believe this is the end of the game. This is a fake out. Maintenance room. This is a fake out. I can tell a fake out from a mile off. There's too much effort in this to... Warzone. Early development, we realized we designed an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which is not our intention. Alien base. Awesome. No, this isn't the end. This is... I think we found an ending where it shows us... like, pieces of the game? Oh. Okay. What was that noise? Stanley's office. To the right is an early version of Stanley's office. It was changed over time. Original. Updated. Final. What? Early game design mock-up. A behind-the-scenes ending. Exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
No,
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
What?
But listen to me. You can still save these two.
I can?
You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
What?
Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
No!
Whatever you do, choose it.
I don't want to leave.
Let time choose for you. Don't let...
The phone. The phone is ringing.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Things keep changing. Narrator? Narrator, where did you go?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right kills us. Actually.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes, I'm admiring.
Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room.
Yes, this is a
Thank goodness
gorgeous
Stanley
room.
had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room.
Yes.
Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Look at this plant. It's a... I like this chair.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the
And
room.
they have free coffee.
Room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
I like this room.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Yes.
It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Yes. I'm going to sit in this room, sit in this chair, and read some yaoi.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Fine,
But
fine.
at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I don't know. There's a... What's down here? Oh, hello.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office.
No, I did
He wanted
not.
to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
There were no doors there.
from here, it's, left.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh.
No, it's to the right. My mistake.
All right. Let's
No,
go.
no,
I-
no, no, not
Dick!
the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Bro, just choose a door. You're the narrator. You're all powerful. You're the DM.
Let's see. We went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep. Okay, yes. I've got it now. This
When the
story
DM
is
didn't prepare his
absolutely,
session notes,
definitely
what is this?
way.
All right. The DM did not prepare his session. Here we go.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
Oh.
Okay. We just have to get back to, Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now.
Wait, don't do
The
what I
whole
think you're
story
gonna do.
completely unusable. How about rather than waste my time trying to
No,
salvage this nonsense,
No,
we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
Don't do that.
This time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm?
No, don't do
Okay,
that.
From the
No,
top.
we can. Dick.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What? Listen, when you're DMing D&D, when your players wander off track,
Why was
enable
Stanley-
them.
Wait. what?
Wait.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh.
What?
Everything should be...
No, you did.
Something changed.
You changed the thing.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or...
No.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
Build the
Okay, then.
build
It's
the
an
campaign.
adventure. Come, Stanley.
Oh.
Let's find the story.
All right. Maybe this way. Remember, kids, keep your left hand to the wall of the maze and follow it around, and you'll always get to the way out. Dun 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 dun.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure
Dun,
I've
dun,
ever
dun,
been on.
dun.
I can promise
Da,
you
da,
there
da,
definitely
da, da,
was
dun.
a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
Don't restart again, you'll
I
make it
find unlikely
worse.
that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than
Dun,
this.
dun, dun,
Okay,
dun,
let's give it a
dun,
shot.
dun,
Why
dun,
not?
dun. I loved Luigi's Mansion when I was a kid.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right. This time he better have got the game back on track, okay? Because I'm not redoing my character sheet, and we're not retconning
Okay,
sessions.
Yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong.
What are you
It's possible the story is
on?
back where we just came from.
Bro!
Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Improvise! Okay, we go back this way. Did we make that? I think we might have made the narrator insane. The game changes itself. What is all of this?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something.
What?
The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story.
Mind break
Let's
narrator?
head back the other way and
What?
retrace our steps.
Was he ever sane? No, this is different. Oh, wow. Did we just walk
Now
into
this-
Resident Evil?
Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
That's...
Do you remember, Stanley?
Yes, it...
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this?
New story?
You win!
Yay!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Oh.
Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Dude. Sir.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Okay.
Hop, 2, 3, 4. Hop, 2, 3, 4. Hop, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4.
Well, I love you, Yellow Line. I love Yellow Line too. We can share.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
To destiny?
Nope. Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even
Uh-huh.
if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
All right.
Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence. right?
Okay. So you're getting very
Now,
existential.
if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
No.
Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back
No.
there.
Let me...
Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with
Okay,
all
let me
that.
talk you through this,
You
narrator.
know what?
Your
I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Let me talk you through this, narrator. The fuck is this? Dun da 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 da. Ba ba da 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 da. Ba ba da 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 da. On. Ay. Gra. Ba da 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 da. Netherlands! They're going on an adventure! Up the stairs! Around! Up and around! Up and around! Up and around! Up and around! Along the wall, through the hall! Da-da-da-da-da-da-da! Question marks, whiteboards. Then we go past offices and floors. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da! Da 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 ba da ba da ba da da. Hey. Shift to the left and the right and the left and the right and the left and the right. Hey, da ba da ba da ba da da da. Through the boxes, through the boxes. Do 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 do. Ba da ba da ba da ba. Da 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 ba. Ba ba da ba ba da ba ba da ba. Hey, da 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 da. Na 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 na. Do da da da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Cut the music.
Wait,
Go
what?
back and look at that fern.
All right.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
All right, I hear you.
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully.
That's right.
You won't want to miss anything.
All right, I see you. I see you, potted plant. I see you. I see you there. In your little black and white pot fixed into the office decor. I see you there with your leaves, your vibrant leaves. That's right. A bed of moss laying just above the soil. I see you. I see you. String grass growing in between your leaves. I see you. All right, we've remembered everything. Can I get the music back?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No.
Wait, why is
Line,
that?
You do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The
Wait.
story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
But there's two lines. Well, this line's over this line, and that line leads to there. I mean, that leads to... Oh, that's the beginning. Oh, so that led us through there and round there. So this leads us to here? And then over to here. Here we go!
No, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you.
Oh,
after
come...
everything we've been through.
Come along.
You... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To
Sir.
hell with it. Restart.
No, oh, please, you're making it worse. You're making it worse. Is the narrator gone?
You know what, Stanley?
Oh, what?
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
Dude.
We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story?
Yeah.
Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
Yeah.
Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable.
Netherlands, I like
Why
that.
don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know.
Pick a direction.
How about this direction?
Yes, I like this now. Maybe we've got him on board.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
I want us to have a noir romance mystery. I want it to be some 1920s, like some 1920s, dames and damsels-esque stuff. You know, some jazz music, some trench coats, rain pouring New York City, snub-nosed revolvers.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley,
I'd
also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
Yes,
no
please.
No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Don't acknowledge it? Okay. Well, it's hard to not acknowledge it. It's leaning into our space, Netherlings. Okay, at least it goes up there. Ooh!
Good choice.
Hey!
We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Let's go.
How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity.
Okay, narrator.
In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here.
Think about it.
Just walk in circles for a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here.
Right.
And that in turn
This is
means
great.
that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going?
That depends.
And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up. What's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending?
What?
And we're supposed to restart the game eight times?
No. Don't restart. You die. We die.
Really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing. Wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide?
Yeah.
Why don't I get a say in all of this?
Yeah, narrator.
Really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Did we win?
The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
I'm not quite sure if we're in the
What does this tell us? Stanley to complete the story, but it's prevented, unable to go anywhere to do anything. The game restarts on its own.
So
Click restart, find the line again, begin following the line. Identical replically office has begun to deteriorate. Attempt to make a story here. Narrator restarts the game. 7th restart. Are we still in the same timeline?
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were.
Oh, those are the boxes we ordered.
Just a matter of time.
It's raining. It wasn't raining before. New content?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
What?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Hi!
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Netherlands?
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
I feel like I've wandered off the main path. And we've...
Is it broken? What's going on here?
Should
we be moving somewhere or...
Oh, there we go. It's just a slow elevator.
At long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
All right, new content. Great.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay.
Oh,
Let's
I see.
The content.
Yes.
Give me the content, Stanley.
Love me some content. New content.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh, we can jump. We can jump. Jump around. Jump around. Get up, and get down. Jump around. Jump around. Jump around. Get up, and get down. Jump around. Jump around. Oh. Oh. Oh, those were all my jumps. Oh.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
I didn't...
If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new
I thought it meant I had to
right
jump
there.
that many times.
I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
Oh, hello.
Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? You've got to be kidding me, you see, Stanley. This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And
damn straight. You tell him, Narrator.
In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
You tell them. You sent Twitter after them, Narrator. You sent Twitter. I'm going to create a hashtag. I'm going to create a post.
Lived up to such expectations.
All right. Swiggity swooty, your booty's going to be cancelled.
And we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Yes.
What do you say, friend?
Sir? Sir? Sir?
Stanley!
Narrator!
Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Okay, the last time someone said that to me, it was when I was living in Barcelona. And he tried to hire me for sex. I was mistaken as a hooker again.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special, and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
No, it happened twice. That was years and years ago when I was living in Barcelona. I was walking around at night, and what happened was I used to not live too far from, I forget the exact name of it, but it's the big gallery on the hill.
The memory zone.
And
it's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
Flagged me down and said, "Come over here. I need to talk to you. I need to show you something." And I went over there, and then he took out his wallet and started counting money. And I was like, no.
Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched?
Hello?
Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something.
No, it didn't.
Oh, the waste.
No. Stanley Parable. Independent. I mean, I have to admit, Stanley Parable. Buy on Steam! A trip down memory lane. Smile because it happened. $1. Yeah, it's one of those if I had a nickel situations. I'd have 2 nickels. That's still 2 more nickels than I should have.
And over here,
hey!
I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
What the hell? Okay, but I don't listen to games journalists because they're cringe. I don't listen to games journalists because they're cringe. Here we go. Ooh, we get a tie. I didn't know the special edition had a tie and a mouse pad and stuff. Ooh.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game
What are you
memories.
trying to tell me? The serious room. The greatest wealth is memory.
These were simpler times, Stanley.
What?
But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Aha.
What's this? What's down here?
Tea.
Oh no. Oh God, no.
Let's get out of
Stanley,
here.
It's a collection of reviews from Steam.
Yes.
The online video game distributor.
Yes.
I haven't looked at these in years.
Yes.
I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Yes, show me your
Surely
Steam
these
reviews.
were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh, I'm ready. Where's my review of Starfield?
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose
yes.
I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable.
Listen.
But the game is already such
Narrator,
a densely
babe,
layered
babe,
web
listen.
of
Narrator,
profound
darling,
philosophical
honey.
insights that I
Honey,
can't
please
even
calm
imagine
down,
where I'd have
darling.
the room to stick them.
Darling, calm down. He sounds like you. Well, Monarch, how could you? But also, thank you for the super. Mwah. Okay, calm down, narrator. Okay, let's not forget the marvelization of dialogue has meant that everyone in video games that are AAA releases now only ever back and forth comedy quips to act like real friendship real dialogue between friends. However, they don't speak in such a way that actual friends would speak. They speak as if, you know, you're at work and the person from HR is listening. That's the way it works, okay? Listen to any AAA game dialogue where two people are meant to be friends now. They sound like they're at work, they're buddies, but the person from HR is within earshot. Ooh.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
I'm out yapping, yes
You
I
can
am.
Tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness.
Preachy?
This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with.
I think it's
You don't know
terse.
how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But
I
maybe
always
it
felt
wasn't.
like your dialogue was poignant.
Yeah. What an awful memory to have to hold on to.
Right.
These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
Fully, I believe that your dialogue
feel
is to the
Like a
point.
failure. Like I let these people down.
Oh, please, they're Steam
Perhaps
reviewers.
the
Don't give them
Stanley
any
Parable
attention.
Isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Don't you worry, darling, okay? Don't you worry. They're Steam reviewers. They're like half a step below Yelp reviewers. Don't you worry. I have more respect for the people who do reviews on Google Maps. Don't
What's this one
Don't
got to
worry.
say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do
No,
that.
no,
If
no,
I'm
no,
truly
no,
too preachy, then
no.
maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it
It'll
could
ruin your
hurt.
narrative pacing. Don't
What
do
if
it.
it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record? Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
No, you don't. You don't need a skip button. It'll ruin your narrative pacing. It ruins dialogue pacing. Don't do it.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get.
No.
Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up.
I don't
Here,
want to.
We'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore...
Fine. How?
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
But
of course, I happen to believe
he
it
has
was
a
perhaps one of my
point,
more
guys. He
profound
has a
such ruminations.
point.
Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think.
Okay.
So my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice.
Right.
That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being,
Okay.
then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been?
Well, you're
making
talking-
every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite?
Well, you're
You see,
becoming a little bit
it could,
twee
in fact,
there.
be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time,
Well-
by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them.
That's the thing. You
Okay,
imply
first, I
that
was leaning
not
towards
making a choice is a choice
manifesto,
in
but now I'm
itself,
going
but
to
that
circle
works
around
under
and
certain
slap the
things, but
treatise
not
label
each
on this
moment.
one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it.
Like, when I wake
But
up in the
wouldn't you
morning, I
say
don't
that
think to immediately
manifesto
grab myself a
just has much
coffee. I lay in bed
grander
for an
sort of
extra,
tone? It has a
minute coming
mouthfeel
too.
that is rich with
Because the thought didn't
ambition
enter my head. That's
history.
not a choice. That's
Ambitious
just
history, if you will. See, now you've
treatise,
got me going back to manifest.
You seem like the type who would write a manifesto.
Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips. Okay,
Yeah.
welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley!
Hi.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no
It's like
way
that
out of the
Adam
room.
Sandler movie,
Stanley,
Click.
the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button.
So I
and
should
if you
push
keep
it.
pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. Oh, Stanley. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Oh, wow.
Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with.
Mind break
And you
arc.
think that that's just how it's always been, right?
Mind
Me
break
talking,
arc.
You saying nothing.
Mine?
Would you
Yeah?
think that it's
Yeah?
exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you
Listen,
can hear me. Because maybe,
bestie.
Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real.
Bestie, I feel like
Maybe I'm not just a fiction.
I feel like you're
Was I
dumping a
scared of that
lot
all along?
on me right now.
Yeah.
And like
Perhaps I've been scared.
I'm
this
going
whole
through my
time
own
that if
stuff
I
right
stop
now.
speaking, I'll
I've got
slip
my own
backwards into
thing.
silence and be consumed by
like,
it.
you know, I
can't
don't
be
want to
taken
get
by
my
it,
pride
Stanley.
and your
I
shame all
can't
tangled
lose
up
myself in a
together.
stretch of emptiness
And
between
like,
you and me.
honestly,
When you
like
press
I've
that
really got to
button,
do
you're
me.
still right there,
I
but
need to just like
know
take a step
you're
back
so
from this. I don't
tremendously
like
far away. And in
conflict
those moments,
in this
the
sort of
emptiness folds
instance. I
itself
prefer
outward
to
in between the two
do
of
my
us.
thing. I'm just gonna hit the block button for a little bit, all right? But I just need that distance. Okay, bye.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only
Okay,
regret.
first of all,
There is
okay,
only a turning
where is...
wheel of missed
First of
opportunities. I
all,
felt nothing
we've
at all but
started...
regret for the longest time, Stanley.
And immediately, you've
Months.
started talking about
I lost it
yourself.
all in a blur of
I
the
don't need this
deepest longing to
narcissism,
undo the
okay?
past. And when that
I would
feeling
like
had
you to
begun
ask about me for
subside,
once. How am
what
I
took its
doing? Am
place
I
is what
okay?
can only
How was my
describe
day?
as
You've
the
never asked
collapse
that.
of every moment
Immediately,
I
it's
have
you,
ever experienced my entire life.
Where's the
All
me?
of them
Okay?
collapsed down
It's
into a
always
single
you.
instant. In that
Alright?
instant, I could see myself
Like,
clearly,
like
calmly,
visualize
with a
outside
collected
yourself.
heart.
It's clear you haven't
It
got
was
better
an
blocked.
impossible.
Oh, the fire alarm battery. The smoke alarm batteries need changing. Dude, for the first, 3 weeks, I knew Roscoe. He didn't change the damn battery in his smoke alarm. Every time we were on a Discord call together, there was beeping in the background.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant
Hey,
to have a point.
Sangu,
It
thank
was
you
meant
for
to
the
speak
supply.
to the
Let's
human
go.
condition.
Thank you.
But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the
Oh, he's just going on and ranting in, blocked DMs. Honestly, the guy is just rambling in DMs after he's been blocked, you know? He's just, it's like when you block someone and they just keep sending messages, and when we unblock them, they all come through, and it's like long-ass rambles. I don't need that. I don't need that. That's
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
all right, enough out of you. Oh, is that water? Ooh. Oh, the pipes are leaking. Okay, if we can't get out of this room, then we simply have to skip time until it, rots away, right? After 40 years or something, the walls will start to come down. We could break out. See? Erosion! I think we've got one more time skip till we get out of here. Hey. I feel like we could get out of here if we really tried. I suppose the world has been reclaimed by nature?
The night is dark and full of terrors.
Okay, we're jumping forward centuries at this. No, it can't be centuries. The walls haven't rotted. Maybe. Oh, what? Oh! Are we out? It's a wasteland. Maybe the... Nope. Across the Fate universe. Let's go. Let's go to the desert. I guess we're crossing the desert. What? Hello?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
What is it? New content. Wait, this is still the same story. We're still in the same story, I think. I think it's pulling a bait and switch on us, maybe.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
See?
The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
247. 427. Investor Showcase. What?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
This is so weird. They're back. 2 doors. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Cool red section of the chart. Boring section. New hotness. Old busted. I mean, they've done their marketing on this. More TSP. Better TSP. Paradigm shift synergy. The color red. Leverage and holistic value. Sequel mindshare. Oh, these are... Why are you using Google Slides? Why are you using Google Slides? Don't use Google Slides. Stanley Parable 2.
Now, to be clear,
the marketing
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be.
Yeah, but the marketing is
great. Let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Who took the red marker?
Me.
Nothing's wrong with Google Slides. We use them at FSP. New features. 2. New content. 222222222. What? The Stanley Parable 2.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
What are the new features? Okay. Exclusive, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Hear your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Alright, this is either going to be the funniest fucking docs in the world, or it's going to be a great punchline to a joke. Fuck it.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
Oh.
But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience.
Okay,
of
I'm a
this
Jim.
feature. Just play along.
Jim's a
promise you'll
Rizless
love
name.
it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I'm in character,
If
shut up.
so, then please step forward and press the button.
I feel very in character right now. Yeah.
Yes, you see, what a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again.
That's
do it again.
incredible. That's incredible. How do they have the technology for this?
Jim.
It hits
Oh.
even harder the second
Oh,
time.
that's-
If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
That's phenomenal.
Let's take a break from
That's
the Jim button.
phenomenal.
I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
That's crazy. Todd Howard could fucking never. Like what? He got one NPC to say the name that you typed in once in Fallout 4. That's incredible. Having every single wow. Whew.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Oh, what about the reassurance bucket? Oh, merch. I love merch. But if it's merch of stuff I actually like.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
Where is it?
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket,
Oh, there it
the
is.
many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in
I don't like the bucket, let me out.
And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain
Let
in
me
the
out.
ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
All right. Oh, the bucket.
Can you feel it?
Oh, the bucket.
The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
I feel it.
Can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh, why, thank you.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
Can I keep
All
it?
this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, I'm keeping the bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
What is this? Please no screenshots. Office decorations, the infinite hole.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday, stepniece.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Fuck you.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Oh. All right, you know what? Let's be a bit of a skibbity sigma and wander off the path. Let's do it. Because I remember I saw a little door behind the scenes here. Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes,
Oh.
it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Settings World Championship. If we keep going up, maybe it'll take us somewhere. It takes us nowhere. Okay. Do you have to say it like that? What do you mean say it like that? I didn't say anything. I didn't say a damned thing, Netherlings. Free and easy achievement? Pull the lever, receive your achievement. No more steps, it just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Gimme! Gimme achievement! Sorry. Gamers. What's up, gamers? What's up, gamers? Don't you love it, gamers?
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Ooh, new free and easy achievements. Can you find them? Collect them all. Ooh!
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Well, that's a little bit jarring. I think the collection screen's a little bit jarring. Maybe you could like make
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
The infinite hole. Well, that's what they used to call me in high school.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video
Yay!
games. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a pain, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why? Is the infinite hole not really infinite?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
Oh.
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
There's a bottom!
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. We've done our thing. We've paid it. We've indulged this little man enough. We'll just slip out to the exit. Listen, I don't want to die. I don't want to break my legs and die. Ugh. I will say the branding is really good. Having the like
All right.
everyday office things that are like Rorschach
Ready
tests.
to move on now?
That's kind of cool. Like the branding's good. There's no product behind it, but the branding's great.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
I feel...
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Give it to me.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
Yeah, no.
Let
We
me
can
do a different arrangement.
we can make something out of that.
Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Okay, no, the first one was better, to be
Who am I
honest.
kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
All right,
With
yes,
respect,
of course, tasteful
with care
insertation.
for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work?
Maybe.
I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
You mean like what we're playing
All
right
right, perfect.
now?
Go ahead. Take a look.
Ooh. that's like... Alright, that's actually kind of sexy, though. They're selling me on it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Ooh.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
Oh.
Something he would never quite forget.
I like this.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions.
The balloons!
Call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What if we...
I'm gonna ignore the bucket.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Now what, everyone?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh. There's the executive bathroom. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Thanks, dude. Wait, these are locked again. They weren't locked before. We've been going in circles.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Yeah.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh, come off. Stop.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
He's so mean. He's so mean to me. Ooh.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
Mini stands. Stanfigs.
What about Stanlerines?
I
Yes,
like...
I think I like that.
Stanley.
Another Stanley under your belt.
Stanurine. Nah. The new age music. I'm a fan of the new age music these children are all getting down to these days.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Whoop.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
T.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Okay, we're going to obey the narrator like a good boy. We're going to obey the narrator.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored.
Yeah, the graphics are so much nicer than they used to be.
Nothing.
Like, I've seen gameplay of the first one, and this is just so shiny.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control?
Okay.
Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it?
Let's get a
Was it
real
even
ending.
possible?
Hey,
Had he
Victoria.
truly spent
Thank you for the
his
super.
entire
Thank you,
life
darling.
utterly
Thanks for the
blind to
nostalgic, cheeky
world?
vibes, Annie. Today was a heavy, stressful one, so this is a welcome break. Hey, hell yeah.
But here
You know
was
there's
the
always room
proof,
to unwind
the
at Club
heart of the
Netherbrand.
operation.
Always, always, always.
Controls labeled with emotions.
Huge loves.
Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Yes.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yes, I shall do such a thing. For I am the hero of this story. Okay, so we get killed if we turn the
And when
power
at last
on.
he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Hello?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
And Incubus saves the world.
And
Yeah,
yet,
actually a good series.
Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
No, I'm not.
Had his co-workers gone?
No,
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
no, we don't need to think
What
about that
other
glitch.
mysteries did this strange building hold?
No.
But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
We
All of his co-workers were
did
gone.
it.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket.
All right, let's see where this takes us. This will be the last one, everyone. We're taking the bucket with us.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him.
Yes.
Telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
Yes.
Was this better than the meeting room?
Yes, this is better.
Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
I love you, bucket.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Yes. Trust the completionist instinct. There will be a reward for finding them all. Warehouse access plan. Mission status. A large room, lots of buckets, somewhere both red and blue. Is this some sort of game? Red room. Red room? Downstairs.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy?
Yes.
It's as clear as day. This
Yes.
broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now.
Yes.
It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
No, it's mine.
Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Never.
I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right. Coming to a staircase,
Down.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley?
Figlies.
What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
I ship broom with bucket. Damn. 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 Look at you going for the unpopular ships. There's no way out once we step there. What if we went down for the insanity ending, but we had our bucket to keep us sane?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
This drives us
All because he
insane.
believed everyone had vanished.
But maybe
His
the
boss
bucket
would
will
think he
keep
was
us
crazy.
sane.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
Bucket couldn't help me.
That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these.
Yes.
He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps.
No!
How did I end up with someone else's bucket?
No!
This is all terribly wrong.
No!
Surely no good would come from this.
Where did
Who
my
knows
bucket
what
go?
sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience
Where did
without
my
the
bucket go?
psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
Bucket, no!
Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it.
Where is my
Far off in
bucket?
the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Bucket!
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Bucket, Kun!
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next.
Bucket?
None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
No!
Come to me, Stanley! Find me!
I want
He
to,
had
Bucket, I
find the
want
bucket.
to!
He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to
Bucket!
truly restore his sanity.
Bucket!
He froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
How did it
It
fit?
was incredibly painful.
Of course it would be.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
Ah!
But on this particular day,
The bucket!
her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Yeah, she did. Maybe I should get a bucket? Hell yeah. Well, heck. Well, heck. On that note, what the absolute heck was that? What the absolute heck was that? That was wild. Bucket Kun? That was a field trip. That was a ride. We were going with the bucket. We were going upstairs, downstairs. Reality was bending in on itself and folding to and fro and back and forth and in and out and up and down and round and all of that. That was incredible. Absolutely blown away by that. I have to admit, I'm really impressed. The Stanley Parable is a game that I've wanted to play for quite a while. And honestly, getting an excuse to play it with the remake is absolutely lovely. I think that this is just something that I absolutely treasured getting to play with all of you. And I of course, I'm really curious to see what else the developers do, for sure. Because obviously, like, it's always difficult adding in content to a game that long after release as well. Because it's so... well, yeah, it's so rightfully difficult to turn around and manage that. So managing to keep that tone, managing to be innovative, and also at the same time have fun with it is something that I really enjoyed throughout all of that. And heck, you could really, like, at least in my mind, they made the line between the content that was old and new so definitive that it didn't feel like you were getting, something that had been created 10 years later. It was really, really smooth on that. So huge love to that. And also the narrator's voice. The narrator's voice had barely changed in 10 years, which is absolutely phenomenal. You know, I know that my voice changes in the space of like 3 months. So so no, it's really cool getting to hear someone's voice back again like 10 years later. So that was wonderful. Heck, I do hope that you all had a lovely time this stream. And of course, I will be back in just over an hour with some little kitty, big city. So I do hope you'll stop by for that. It's going to be very, very fun. And heck, if you want to say hello or goodbye or anything in between, then I would really enjoy that. But until then, I will see you guys on the other side of this and be back for Little Kitty Big City, because heck, it's Little Kitty Big City. Huge love. Alright everyone, until the next, I have been Zander Netherbrand. You have been my absolutely delightful Netherlings, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye for now. Mwah. You're delightful.